Welcome to Tech in the Car. This is a new Citroen E-C4 electric car. This is a really cool car. In this video, I'm going to show you what it's like inside, how it drives, explain the infotainment system to you, give you a full review, tell you what I think. If you find this video useful, please like, because that really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and comment if you have any questions below. And if you really want to see more, please subscribe. Let's get into it. I borrowed this car from Citroen Wilmoths Eastbourne. If you're after a Citroen, pay them a visit. They're really great, they're really helpful. The new E-C4 is an electric car. It's got a 50 kilowatt hour battery, which is good for about 217 miles of WLTP range. It puts out 134 horsepower, or 100 kilowatts if you're in Europe. And that means it can get from 0 to 62 miles an hour in about 9.7 seconds. And because it is an electric car, it's got instant torque, which means when you want to pull away from those traffic lights, it will immediately respond and give you that surge. The new C4 range is about the same size as a Ford Focus or a VW Golf, but it's got a raised stance, which makes it look a bit like an SUV, but it's not. The benefit of that raised stance is quite simple. It gives it more ground clearance, which means you're less likely to scrape it or damage it if you're on a curb, or indeed anywhere where the ground isn't exactly flat and even. So it gives you a bit more versatility. In terms of technology, this car has it all, and we're going to go into that inside. There'll be a separate video on the infotainment system, so please keep an eye out for that on the channel. But looking at some of the exterior features, first of all, we've got these really cool new LED lights. Citroen has always had this distinctive look of double lights, but now with the LEDs, it looks really futuristic and very unique. Citroen LED vision lights are really cool, and they look great, as you can see here. You have the adaptive cruise control sensor, you've got parking sensors as well. The bonnet here is sculpted and it's got little chunks taken out of it, which looks really cool and very futuristic. At the side here, you have a choice of alloys. This comes with 18-inch alloy wheels, which look again very cool with a distinctive diamond cut finish and black surround. We can't talk about the new C4 in this car without talking about this sloping coupe-esque roofline, which is really cool, which goes into that sporty spoiler. In this particular trim of this model, the rear is blacked out here with tinted windows, which again adds to that two-tone sporty look. Let's talk now about the design of the rear of the E-C4, and this will be the same on any C4. So it's got a very aggressive rear end, there's no doubt about it. The tail lights are really distinctive. They've got these cool effects here, which are ridged. You've got a spoiler here, which adds to the sportiness look from the side. It does mean, however, you could get some rain collecting down here, which might affect your visibility, especially in a country where it rains a lot. But I love the sportiness, it looks really unique and cool. Also, the contrast between the black and the paint color of the body is really cool. Down at the bottom, there's no fake exhaust or anything else going on there. It's an electric car and it's proud to be an electric car. What about space in the back of the E-C4? Well, you'll be pleased to know there's 380 litres, and if you put the back seats down, you've got 1,250 litres of space. There are the various hooks and tether points you would expect, and you've got an adjustable floor in the boot, so your charging cables would go under there normally, but if you want to have it flat, you can just have a flat level there, or for more space you can have it so there's a slight lip here. Talking about the lip, you've got a nice protected area here which you can use to make sure anything is slid over and doesn't damage the paintwork, and this is quite low here on the lip of the bumper. This is the side view of the new Citroen E-C4. This car also comes with keyless entry, so you can open the doors without needing the key. It just has to be in your pocket. At the back here, you find your charging port, just like where you would expect to find your fuel cap. And what's great about this is it's 100 kilowatt charging, so it can do fast charging, 0 to 80% in 30 minutes, or you can plug it in at home and it takes about 7.5 hours to charge from a home box. Inside the E-C4 electric car, this has plenty of space. There's room for my legs. You can see I've got plenty of space for my knees here. My feet can go under there quite happily. There is a bit of a lip here, which kind of is something which you need to get used to, but it's no big deal. At the back here, there's 2 USB ports as well, which come in this trim level. And, you know, you feel fine. There's a sloping roof line, which, you know, can reduce your space a bit if you're taller. I've got about this much space. So how much space is there in the electric Citroen E-C4 for your doggy? Plenty of space for your dog to relax and take it easy. There are 4 trim levels on the C4 and the E-C4. The standard trim level is called the Sense, and then that's followed by the Sense Plus, the Shine, and the Shine Plus. As standard on the car, you get 18-inch alloy wheels like you've seen on this car. You get LED headlights, dual climate control, and the incredibly impressive progressive hydraulic cushion suspension system, which allows you to go around corners and be really flat, but go over bumps in the road and not feel them. Stepping up to the Sense Plus, you get the heads-up display, you get sat nav, you get LED interior lights, auto dimming rear view mirror, 2 USB sockets, power folding mirrors, and then on the Shine trim you get dark tinted rear windows, you get all the driver assistance features, keyless entry, auto high beam, heated steering wheel, and a reversing camera. And on the Shine Plus you get black leather, power adjustable driver seat, heated front seats, 4 USB sockets, and wireless charging. And big shout out for the design on the interior here. This is a really impressive car because it's very ergonomically designed to give you everything you could want, from the built-in tablet holder to the fantastic shelf where you can put your phone, which is a wireless charging point, but it will also fit my folding phone and my iPhone. And that's the first car that I've been in which actually fits whatever phone that I actually have. So you wouldn't think Citroen were the masters of this, but with a tablet shelf and a space to fit any size phone, that's something, that's amazing. Well done, Citroen. This is a totally new design for Citroen. You've got a nice big widescreen 10-inch display here with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You've got actual buttons under here for climate control, which is really cool to see, which you can also adjust on the screen if you need to. The steering wheel on this spec has heating as well. We've got a digital driver display down here. In the middle here we've got a cubby hole, which is really cool. You can put something underneath there, and then you've got a wireless charging mat, 2 cup holders, and you've got your electric brake and your button, which will take you to the electric information on the screen, so you can see how much battery is left, your statistics, your flow, and your charge. Interior wise, everything feels really nice. You've got your head-up display, which pops up from here as well, which is awesome to see, which you can see in my driving video. And then the design on the doors is really funky and really cool. All in all, a really nice interior. It feels very comfortable, very, very well equipped. And make sure you watch the video on the infotainment system, which is coming up soon. This is the new Citroen C4, and this car is the E-C4 electric car. This car has a 50 kilowatt hour battery, which is good for 217 miles. It's 134 horsepower or 100 kilowatts, and it can do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 9.7 seconds. This car has a really interesting suspension system. Citroen have fitted something called progressive hydraulic cushion suspension. And what that is a kind of suspension which is designed to maximize your comfort, but also make sure that you feel in control of the car. So when you're driving around a corner, there's not going to be any sponginess of the car rolling into the corners. It will remain flat and even. And then when you're on a straight road like I am now, the car will loosen up, so the bumps in the road, those potholes, aren't a problem. That means this car is really comfortable to drive and it feels really relaxing, and you don't have to worry about control and how it feels when you go around those corners, which is a disadvantage some cars have. It means that even though the suspension is really comfortable, it definitely feels sporty going into corners, which is a really interesting feel for the car and something which I think is a great idea. What do you get in this electric car in terms of equipment? Well, it's got all of the latest assistant features built into it. We've got adaptive cruise control, lane assist. It uses the cameras and the radar to slow down and brake and know when there's going to be a crash and brake you automatically with the emergency braking assistant. I've got a heads-up display right in front of me, which makes me feel like a fighter pilot, which is showing me my speed and my safety system status. This car has got it all. It's got a 10-inch widescreen with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and the interior is a step up from other Citroen models. I don't think there's any question about that. In terms of the technology that's been added into this car, it just feels like the next level in cars, and it's really, really comfortable as well. You know, I've said this already, but I feel that way. There are 3 modes. There's sport, normal, and economy. I have it in sport right now. Obviously, electric cars always have tons of torque. That's something which you would expect from an electric car. But with this particular car, like with all cars, if you put it into sport mode, you get a tiny bit more throttle response, which means it's a tiny bit more responsive. You never have any problems at traffic lights or crossings. The E-C4 will keep you in control. There's something about driving an electric car. It makes you feel better. Maybe it's because it's saving the environment, maybe because you know you're not having to put petrol in the car, both things which are really good. And with the cost of fuel being so expensive throughout most of the world, that makes a lot of sense. Electric is much cheaper and it's a lot less hassle as long as the range that you need to go does not exceed the car, and if it does, as long as there's quick charging. And this is where this car is really good. It can take 100 kilowatt charging, quick charging, which can charge from 0 to 80% in 30 minutes. That's enough time to get a coffee, have a sandwich, relax, and then find your car at 80% charge and coming back to it ready to go and carry on with your journey. And at home you can charge it in 7.5 hours if you have a wall box. What I like most about this car is the way that Citroen have gone as far as the design and the way they've delivered it. It's got a raised height, which means on English roads or any roads which are a bit lumpy and a bit bumpy, you don't have to worry about that. That height gives you extra confidence when driving, so you're not going to damage a car or curb it. Gives you better road position when driving. And on top of that all, it's got a great suspension system, which means that when you go around corners, it feels sporty, but when you're driving on a straight and there's bumps in the road, it goes over them like they're not there. Add in all the technology, all the assistance features, the quick charging as well, and this is a really, really cool car. And let's not forget the head-up display if you spec it as well from a purely techie, gadgety point of view. This is a really good car, and if you're looking for something which isn't maybe typical of other electric cars, but has a cool look and can give you the best of everything, then I suggest you check out one of these E-C4s. And check out the standard C4s as well. There is petrol and diesel versions as well, even though I'm reviewing the electric version in this video. So what's my verdict on this car? Well, it's really comfortable. It's got all the latest technology. It has really, really clever suspension. It's got a head-up display and it's electric, so it will save you money. It won't cost you anything in fuel. It's good for the environment, and it's fantastic value at between 33 and 35,000 pounds for what you get. It's really, really well equipped. I really like this car. I would suggest you check one out. As far as a tech in the car rating, I give this 26 out of 30. Strong in the environment, strong on technology, easy to park with all the latest parking sensors and cameras. This car is really, really good. I strongly recommend one. Visit Wilmoths Citroen Eastbourne if you want to check one out. And if you have any questions, please let me know below. Would you like a Citroen E-C4? I think it's fantastic. What do you think? Let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and if you want to see more, please subscribe.